This review has been made possible by Toyota of Naperville. As you know, Toyota has tons of brand new Toyotas available for purchase, but did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to toyotaofnaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2005 Porsche 911 Carrera. Behind me is a 3.6 liter flat six and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this here 911 for a couple of reasons. First of all, I love Porsches. They're one of my favorite brands in the world. Second reason is that this is a 997 generation of Porsche. The generations are named by different 9 numbers. There's the 964, there's the 991, 992, 997, 996. And it can get kind of confusing. Porsche actually gives it those generation names after the patent. That's what I learned down at the Porsche facility in Atlanta. So this is the 997 generation. This is my first time driving and reviewing one. I'm excited to share that with you today. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, zackpradel.com, where you can buy stickers like this retro sticker pack or big friggin' bottle sticker, both with free shipping. You could also submit your own vehicles to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form. And you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that flat six behind me. Well, it makes 325 horsepower, and you really start to feel it once you start to rev this car out. Driving this car around town, it's not what it's for. You really have to give it a little kick in the gut in order to really feel that 3.6 liter, which I quite like feeling. There it is. Oh, such a toned growl. It's a very calculated anger, if that makes sense. And I absolutely love that from Porsche. You get that great noise. Here we go again. And handling, as you hear all my equipment fly around, handling is just superb. You'd think the rear engine, it's unbalanced, but oh yeah. No, that's good. That's real nice. Real nice. So as you can see, big fan of the power plant, and I am a pretty big fan of the transmission. Like I said, 6-speed manual. I definitely like it. However, the clutch is a little bit stiff. The shifter's a little bit stiff. It's not this like picture perfect shifter. However, for a car like this, I still like it. I still pleasantly enjoy it. Last but not least, of course, the 911 is rear-wheel drive. However, there were Carrera 4s or 4Ss, and those would actually come with all-wheel drive. So you could find one in all-wheel drive in the 997. This is just rear-wheel because it is just the standard Carrera. With that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 5 gauges. Off to the left is my oil temperature. Then I have my speedometer, tachometer, bright and sunny in the center. Love that about Porsches. And off to the right, I have my coolant temperature and fuel, as well as my oil pressure all the way off to the right. The steering wheel doesn't have any buttons on the front or anything like that. You get a very nice Porsche badge in the center. And of course, you have like cruise control and wipers and things around the back, but nothing on the front. Very driver oriented. Off to the left, I do have my headlights as well as my ignition. This is a very typical Porsche feature where they put the key ignition off to the left. Almost all Porsches are like this, and even the brand new Porsche Taycan electric car, the push to start option is off to the left. On the door, I do have my power mirrors way up top. Then I have my power windows and a grab handle, and that is it. Moving into the center, I have 2 climate control vents and a aftermarket radio. This is not the factory 997 radio, but that's okay. Then I do have climate controls. Tons of customization when it comes to fan speed. There's like 300 bars of fan speed you can select through, which is really nice, and you could set it to auto as well. Then I do have a fun little button for the rear spoiler. I can put that up or down when I would like. Fantastic feature. Then I get a little cubby and the shifter itself. Like I said, I'm not fully in love with the shifter feel. However, it is very Porsche. It is very on brand. Feels decent enough. Down below that, we have a cigarette lighter and ashtray. We have the handbrake, and then we have the center console with 12-volt outlet. I actually do have this little button with these fold-out cup holders. These are the most useless cup holders I might have ever seen in a car. Pretty typical for Porsches. The 986 Boxer had equally unusable cup holders. So, unfortunately for that, the 997 fails the big friggin' bottle test. The seats are nice and comfortable. They are decently sporty. They do have higher bolsters than, say, your Toyota Camry. However, they are nondescript. They don't even say Carrera on them. They're not really anything else to write home about. They do still suffer a little bit from this early 2000s plasticky leather. But we'll talk more about the interior quality towards the end of the video in the final thoughts segment. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats because it is a 911. So let's go do a backseat review. Ow. I don't fit. I'm sweating. I'm fat. I don't fit. But here is a nicer view of the back seats. Very usable for kids. I have a friend with a 996 911. That's actually why he bought the 911, is because the 986 didn't have a back seat, but the 911 does. Use these for kids, but don't use these for anyone over the age of 5 or 6. They will hate you. They will form an unhealthy anger towards you. And you don't want that. I don't want that. You don't want that. No one wants that. So in the effort of not angering people, don't put them back here. Let's go take a look at the trunk and frunk, and we'll talk about the looks. But first I have to get out of here, which I don't know is going to be physically possible. I should really put the jaws of life in my toolbox. Ugh. All right, frunk of the 997 Porsche 911. I do have a button on the fob, which is very nice. However, I don't believe the key fob likes to work. Well, that's unfortunate. The frunk button on the inside is broken. The key fob won't open it. So, just imagine a luggage space. I'm sorry I can't show that to you. That's a bummer. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I love the 997. One of my favorite generations of 911. The 996 still holds just a special place in my heart, just for personal reasons, but man, the 997 looks great. This is the return to fully oval headlights as opposed to the cracked egg yolk of the 996. And overall, Porsche has just been so distinct when it comes to their vehicles. You can tell immediately that it is a Porsche, and I absolutely love that. This car is also finished in Guards Red, which is a very, very Porsche red color. It's very in your face. I think if I bought one, I don't know if I'd go with this flashy of a red. However, it is very Porsche. Guards Red is kind of one of their famous colors, if you will. And so I love it for that. But let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think about the 2005 Porsche 911 Carrera, the first year of the 997 generation? Well, in short, I really love this car. I love driving 911s. The new 911s are something to really, really gravitate towards. Those are beyond fantastic. And this is great as well for an older vehicle. You know, this car is 17 years old, almost old enough to vote. I love it for all of that-ness. But let's talk about the importance of the 997 and this interior quality. This interior feels a little bit like the 996. Now, going from the 996 to the 997, it wasn't a ground-up change. They really just sort of pimped out a 996 and gave it a new face. And that's evident here in the interior, but you could tell that the interior quality is a lot higher. The materials used in here, a lot better, a lot nicer. And that's because in the 1990s, when the 996 was being designed, Porsche really didn't have any money. For the sake of the argument, Porsche was broke in the 90s. And so when they designed the 996 and 986 Boxer, they didn't have much money to spend on materials. Those interiors feel very, very cheap. But now sitting in here in the 997, you start to see the materials get a little bit better. A little bit more refinement here and there. Porsche, after the success of the Boxer and as the 997 went on, the success of the Cayenne and later Macan, Porsche had money again. They could spend the extra dime here and the extra dime there. And you really start to notice that in the 997. This is the start of Porsche's redemption arc, if you want to call it that. This is where they started to get good again. Not saying that the 996 was bad, and the end of the air-cooled era wasn't bad either, but the quality now in 911s is insane. And so this is where you start to see that return, the other side of the bell curve, the big drop on the roller coaster. And that's fun to see. I'm so thankful I've been able to sort of live out the evolution of the 911, driving a modern one down in Atlanta last summer. It's a 911 Turbo, driving a 996 and 986, and now driving the 997. I really get to have a good view, and this is the start of Porsche's return to form, and I love that. The 997 is really a great car. I can't recommend these enough. They're fantastic to drive. They look good. They capture everything that a Porsche should capture. They capture it right here, and it's just phenomenal. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville. This is one of their used vehicles. They have tons of cool, kooky, and interesting things on the lot. That's what I love about Toyota of Naperville. They're great. Their information is found up on the screen or down in the description below. Please go check them out. Helping them is helping me, and it is much appreciated. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.